Boom.
Can I ask a question?
Sure. Uh-oh, I'm sorry. I think you got muted. All right, you're back on.
Okay, I'm LG Tribute Empire, but that's not who I am.
Oh, okay. Yes, ma'am. You have the ability in the participants line to change your name if you would like to. For today's purposes, you should be okay, though. If you need any information, Kathy will be dropping my information as we talk about it into the chat today. Okay, if you need anything specifically, feel free to reach out to me. But for the Skype purposes of today, I think you'll be in good shape.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. All right. Thank you for that question. All righty. So my name is Jordan Ivory. I am the program director at the Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky African American Chamber of Commerce. And it is truly my pleasure to be here with you guys today. You're going to see me look at a multitude of different places. I want to see your guys. I want to see you guys, okay, that are on camera. I also want you guys to be able to see me, okay? But we also have people coming in and out too. So I'm managing the back end. So you'll see me look around a bunch of different places, and that's what I'm doing. Here at the Chamber, we do over 120 programs annually. We're on track to do over 200 this year, even despite COVID. And in 2019, we did 176 programs and events. And let me tell you, it was absolutely amazing. The one thing that I knew that we had to do going forward is step up and elevate the game of what we were doing and move more intentionally inside of the community that we serve. One of the ways and opportunities that we've been able to do that is through professional development and through courses and programs that have helped small business owners level up, as well as even the playing field for themselves in regards to competitors, okay? I think the African American Chamber is a phenomenal resource for a number of things, but I know for a fact our programs stand out more so than any other chamber in our region. The beautiful thing about this collaboration with Halle-Bration, okay, and I'm still tickled by the fact that that rhymes, right? Because that's what Halle-Bration is. It's a collaboration, right? The collaboration between the African American Chamber and Halle-Bration, I think this year is at an all-time high because we have to embark on a new journey. The one thing that I have said in every single meeting that we've had is that this is a new journey for us all, okay? I was jumped into the Zoom gang very early into COVID, right? We've all been on the Zoom meetings, the Google Meets, the GoToMeetings, the wherever you're meeting these people in the digital space, right? We've all been through that. This virtual Halle-Bration is going to be something that is brand new to you, to us, and to the consumer. And I want you to know that we are truly, truly, truly determined to make sure that you are super prepared, okay, for not only Halle-Bration, but for beyond Halle-Bration in the digital space. Each and every time I tell this story, I have to tell this part. The first time I got called into the Halle-Bration meeting, Eric called me. He said, Jordan, I need you to hop onto this call with me at noon. So with Kathy Lewis Norman, who I had only heard of, okay, and met maybe once or twice in passing. Kathy Lewis Norman, Chuck Futel, and Erica Garrett about Halle-Bration. I was like, oh, okay, I know these people. This is going to be cool. What are we going to do Halle-Bration? Eric said, you're probably going to have to talk to him about taking it virtually. I'm like, okay, that we've done all these other programs. We can do this. So we get on the call. First thing that Kathy Lewis Norman says to me is, yeah, we're supposed to be trying to make this virtual, but I don't think it's going to happen. She did not believe it could happen. And the one thing that I said, and I realized at this moment, although Eric had another meeting, okay? So that's why he threw me in there, okay? He didn't make it. The one thing that he knew that I was going to do is tell Kathy is that we can do it, okay? And that it's been done. All right, now I'm gonna be even more transparent with you guys. Not only had it been done, okay, virtual experiences, okay, we're not just talking about Halle-Bration. They were doing it at like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, okay, at these levels, meaning that it's been done. So when I say that we're embarking on this journey with a new approach, with a different aspect, and a great foundational idea of how we can build out this virtual scene, you are truly blazing that trail with us. So I want you to take advantage of all the things that I'm going to share today. And I want you to think about things that you may not have thought about in terms of the digital space. Today, Kathy is going to drop my information in the chat before we're done, okay, my email. And what that will do, okay, is give you a direct access to me, all right? During this time, I want you to feel like you're in this Halle-Bration boot camp, okay? Reason why I want you to think that way is because this is going to be a mini accelerator, okay? Accelerators are things that you go into to learn more, and then you leave with a takeaway, okay, with something that you have. All right. Now, I'm not going to spill the beans and spoil the surprises of what we have for you quite yet. Okay. But as I talk about the different aspects of what we're going to be working on today, I not only want you to get excited, but I want you to think about beyond Halle-Bration as well. Everything that we're going to help you put in place is something that you can utilize beyond Halle-Bration. Okay. And Kathy Lewis Norman and the team at Halle-Bration is truly committed to giving you these things for just this vendor fee. Are y'all ready? Okay. We've got some amazing things happening with virtual Halle-Bration, but you have to be prepared. Okay. And that's why I had to take a deep breath right there. Okay. You have to be prepared. You have to know what you're expecting, right, as you're walking in the door so that you're confident. We have all utilized these platforms that we are going to be utilizing for virtual Halle-Bration in our everyday lives. If you've seen Facebook, if you shopped online, if you've Google searched a business, okay, you are going to be utilizing these things, okay, that we are talking about for your business, all right, for Halle-Bration, all right, for the integration of Halle-Bration. That rhymed too. Integration, collaboration, Halle-Bration, right? For the integration of for you to work properly with Halle-Bration, but beyond, okay? So let's jump into it. We're talking about doing 5 separate programs for Halle-Bration, okay? Typically, our programs happen between 12 and 1 o'clock, Monday through Friday, okay? And they're usually just an hour long. Halle-Bration workshops are going to be an hour and a half to 2 hours long, okay? They're going to run parallel to the programs that are happening at the Chamber. And short shameless plug, please check out all the programs that we have going on at the Chamber. They will be very useful for you for Halle-Bration as well. And in some of them, I have even notated on our calendar which ones would be great for our HB vendors, okay? So that way my members aren't like, Jordan, why are you giving away all this? Okay, so that's between us, y'all, okay? HB vendors, when you look at our calendar, look at that. Those will be great programs for you, okay? The other piece of it is I have more programming coming, okay? If you need something larger than what we talk about money-wise with First Financial as well, okay? So I want you guys to keep this in mind that there's a lot of ways that you can grow in this short time before Halle-Bration for beyond. Now, I know each and every one of you have heard about the African American Chamber and probably have heard about programs. One of the biggest things that I am notorious for, and Gail Billings will back me up on this, is that I'm all about bridging the social tech gap, meaning taking individuals like my mother and father who are 60, 70 years old, okay, and putting them into a digital space, all right? Taking members that we have that are 70, 80, 90 years old, and I've gotten them into the digital platform and they join programs just like you and I today. And people at the beginning were like, Jordan, how's that gonna work? Now I'm gonna say something super cliche, guys, okay? If you build it, they will come, okay? And honestly, when they have nowhere else to go, they have no choice but to show up for you, right? So the beautiful thing is that in this space, we're able to market, do a lot of different things, but I promise you, you're going to get a lot from it. So the first piece of this is that I want you to know that you're going to have ample opportunity to answer and ask questions, okay? Get questions answered and ask those questions. I want you to also know that there is going to be time to work inside of these workshops, okay? It's not gonna be, and I'm calling them workshops, okay? Because it's not gonna be you show up and take notes. It's, hey, I need you to show up, Zaquay, and be ready to plug these pieces in, okay? And ask me those questions on site. Now, I know 2 hour periods, hour and a half, 2 hour periods is not a whole bunch of time. So you'll hear tonight exactly how we have it built out. Starting on the week of the 16th of November, okay, we will begin our Halle-Bration industry focus, okay, for our Halle-Bration vendors. Now, I say this, okay, and Kathy and I discussed this as well. If you have people who are vendors, okay, that are in need of this kind of training that you're going to hear about, invite them. Okay. The one thing that I ask you to say is make sure you say the African American Chamber of Commerce and make sure you say Halle-Bration. Okay. Because what we want to do is not just educate you all, we want to educate the individuals coming, you know, to Halle-Bration in the future. Vendors and individuals like ourselves that have not been able to vend during this time. One of the biggest things that we've heard that is in need, okay, that you all are in need of is creating a digital point of sale. Okay, and a lot of you are like, Jordan, what's a point of sale? Okay, that's your cash register. That's the space where you are able to collect the money. Okay, that's the place wherever the sale is taking place. Okay, and the money is being exchanged. The one thing that I want to continue to point out in every one of these conversations is Halle-Bration is not dealing with your money. Okay, we are not going to be interfacing with the money that is coming, okay, from your consumer to you. Okay, Halle-Bration is definitely in the digital space. It is very different in a lot of ways than the physical, but I promise you the workflow of your business, okay, is not going to change because of Halle-Bration, all right? Because of us personally. We're going to change it though for you in the digital space, okay? What we will then do is allow you the ability to create a business Facebook page. We'll show you how to do that, okay, in this space, but we will also then show you how to create a digital point of sale, okay? All of this stuff that I'm talking about tonight is going to sound high level. What I encourage you to do is jump into these programs every single day that we have them, feel them out for the first 15 to 20 minutes and decide if it's for you or not. Okay. And come to them, see what we're talking about in the beginning. Okay. If you have a question, ask that question. Okay. Jump in with it. All right. This is a workshop. All right. And on days where I'm able to have somebody else from the chamber who is an industry expert in this space, or individuals like Stephen Easley, who will be working with us on this Halle-Bration team, we may even be able to do some different breakout rooms inside of these sessions so that we can have working groups. Okay. So let me explain that just a little bit further so everyone's clear. And I want you to feel safe in this environment. All right. Is that we will create a breakout room for individuals that need to start building out their Facebook page. Okay. What I'll do is I'll give you the first 4 to 5 steps, and then you can go and do that in the room with individuals who are doing it with you. Okay. You'll have the ability to share your screen. You'll have the ability to give me remote access to help you. Okay. Zoom has a ton of these features that we absolutely love that will ensure, number one, our distance and safety. Okay. But will also ensure the comfortability of you being able to get the job done. All right. This stuff is super simple. It's just more tedious than anything when it comes to actually filling in the data points. Okay, so creating a digital point of sale workshop is going to be one of our pieces. The digital, or taking your business digital made easy workshop, is going to be a general overhaul. And that's what we're going to kick things off with, is just this general overhaul of what you need. Okay, with time. All right, we will then break out into rooms and start working on some of those things that may even be presented in the second session. Okay, these are workshops. I don't want you to be behind, okay, or have to wait till the Thursday program if we can handle this stuff on the Monday, Tuesday side. Okay, I want you to be comfortable in it. Creating a digital point of sale workshop, taking your business digital made easy, and we're going to do a how to build your own landing page. Okay, people are like, oh, what's a landing page, Jordan? It's a spot where your consumer can land and learn more about the business in an online space. Okay, so I said all that to say this short W word called a website. Okay, this is 2020. People don't have 15, 16 page websites anymore. They don't have 2 to 3 page websites anymore. A lot of people just have a landing page. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly how to build a landing page. Okay, exactly how to build a landing page. Now, those are our 3 key pieces, okay, to getting you digitally ready for Halle-Bration. And what's mind-blowing, okay, is as Kathy and I, Stephen and I, Chuck Futel and I talked about these things, we thought we were going to have to do abundant training for you guys. We thought we were going to have to do so many different things. But as we were able to plot and plan, we realized that these are your needs, okay? Now, I promised you 5 sessions, right? And I only told you about 3, okay? Now, I'm a previous basketball player. Okay, previous basketball coach. All right, so I talk in sports lingo a lot of times. All right, the one thing that I used to tell my players is that each week we would have practice, right? So we would have these programs where we're actually going through and workshopping. The one thing that I always offered up to my players is an open gym. All right, and in the traditional sense, an open gym would just mean you come and play. In this sense that we're talking about, and the way that I did it with my students, and players was we opened up the open gym and it was open for anything. Okay. So on these open gym days, I'm going to be opening up the forum for 2 hours. Okay. Where I'm just going to be sitting here on a Zoom. All right. And I'm going to welcome you to come in and ask me questions about what we're already discussing and more. Okay. I'm saying this to you. So that's 4 hours of literal workshopping and one-on-one potential. Okay. Now I say one-on-one potential because if we have 5 people show up, we're going to try to work with 5 people. I may put you in 5 separate breakout rooms and I work with you individually on this, this, and this. Okay. But I want you to know that you will get your questions answered. The beautiful thing about this, guys, is that a lot of these things that we're going to be teaching you, I already have informational and educational videos on. I already have resources that will help you do this stuff through automation as a breeze. Okay. And one of my biggest things about social tech is that, especially with how we're utilizing it, when I say social tech, I mean Facebook. Okay. I mean your point of sale like PayPal or Cash App. Okay. These are all social tech. All right. When I'm talking about this social tech, these are things that you're going to be able to take away beyond Halle-Bration. Your landing page is not going to drop out. Okay. Just because Halle-Bration has ended. The beautiful thing about what we have learned through this is that we will have the ability to repurpose a lot of these materials. So it would be foolish of us to say that you have this digital landing page created on the Halle-Bration site, right? That then goes away on January 1. No, it's going to live. And as we have this digital market, okay, that we're now tapping into, we will be sponsoring or having sponsored ads and whatnot in these sorts of spaces as you would in a Halle-Bration. People are going to be looking for your brand in these digital spaces as they see the repurposed materials. So not only do we want you to look good for Halle-Bration, we want you to look good for all the things and greatness that's going to be coming from Halle-Bration. Okay. Now, I'm a freelance consultant, digital strategist, and marketer. The one thing that I will tell you is that this package that we've created for you guys is a $1,500 to $1,700 project for me outside of the chamber. To do this kind of stuff, it costs upwards of $2,000 to $3,000, okay, from a typical strategist, consultant, designer. Okay, we're giving you this stuff to you for the price of the vendor fee. Okay, and we're giving this to you and opening it up to your community for that same price. So know that you can get the value out of this. Okay, for not only Halle-Bration, and I'm gonna say it again, but for beyond. Okay, I've repeated myself a lot today because I want you guys to feel comfortable. I want you to know that we're serious. Okay, I want you to know that if you have a question about this tech, the way that we're going with Halle-Bration, we're not only going to train you and teach you, we're going to make sure that we've equipped you with the knowledge so that you're comfortable on day of. Let me say one last thing before we open the floor up for questions. And I know I've downloaded a lot of information on you. Okay. Two things, okay, that I'll say, excuse me. I know I said one, but 2 things, okay. Our schedule for Halle-Bration, okay, focused programming, okay, these workshops will be live tomorrow at noon, okay. So that way I just need to make sure that we have the allocated Zoom space via the chamber, all right. And I also want to make sure that we can line up some industry experts or individuals that may be able to support us on this. Okay. The one thing that I can say about the chamber is that if I don't know an industry expert inside of the chamber, we have somebody in the chamber that can help you. Okay. We have somebody that I can send you to. All right. A lot of this stuff that we're going to be doing is free. Okay. A lot of this stuff that we're doing is also has a premium level. Okay. Now I'm going to say one of my vocab words, and it's one of my branded words. Okay. It's called freemium. Okay. I love freemium. Why do I love freemium? Because I like to try stuff out before I pay for it. Right. And I think a lot of us are like that. And especially when it comes to tech. So I like freemium products because I get away with a lot of free stuff, y'all. A lot of the stuff that I need business-wise is free, and I don't need the premium, okay? I'm going to show you those freemium kind of items, all right? The other piece of it, too, is that the premiums that I utilize, if you don't know me, I'm cheap, okay? I'm super cheap. The freemiums that I utilize on the premium side, they're super affordable, especially for small business owners, okay? Especially for small business owners. I do not like products that are super cumbersome, super pricey. The last thing I will say, so my first point was that you'll have all of that, okay? My second point, okay, and my last thing is, and that they'll be up at noon, okay? My second piece is that I want you to feel comfortable, okay? But I also want you to feel encouraged. I want you to utilize this opportunity to help you build more on your business, all right? I want you to utilize Halle-Bration as your leverage point, okay? Don't feel bad. Like, oh, snap, I needed a website. Jordan said he's going, yes, that's true. We are going to get you a landing page, all right? And the way that I show you how to build a landing page, and I say this lightly, okay? I promise you could probably build a 14-page site yourself. All right. We've done this exact same program at the chamber, and I had 7 individuals in a conference room build entire websites in 2 hours. Even one of them being council member Jan Michelle Lemon Kearney. Okay. And that shows you the social tech gap. Okay. And the ability to be able to work in the space. I promise you, I've shown Gail Billings how to navigate things on Canva and how to make flyers and whatnot herself. All right. In simple ways that you can do it. All right. Now, I'm not asking you to be a master. Okay, but I'm letting you know that you have the ability to navigate this space with a little bit of help and coaching. All right, now I want to open the floor up for questions. All right, I don't know if we're going to have a whole bunch or a whole little. Okay, and either is fine. I want you to ask your questions, okay, in front of everyone, because I know a lot of individuals have those same questions. And the one piece that I will say about that too is that even if you think that someone else may not have that question, a lot of times people haven't even thought about it. Okay. So I encourage you to get your questions answered now. Okay. Even if you just want to know something about the chamber, if you have questions about how programs happening, whatever it may be, I want to open up the floor to you. Okay. So go ahead and feel free to take yourself off of mute and ask any questions that you may have. Okay, let's not all jump at once. I know somebody's got a question out here. Let me state this last piece too. If you, not even just a question, okay, if you have something that you feel like should be in the offering, okay, of programming, or something that you know that you need assistance with, let's bring that to the forefront too.
Jordan, I'm going to ask a question on behalf of some of the folks that I have spoken to in the last several days. You talked about point of sale, and I know you mentioned Cash App, and you mentioned PayPal, and I think Venmo, and some of those others. So the intent would be that you would help people to understand what the different features are, and what the different issues may be from a safety standpoint and so forth in using those, and then how to set them up. That's part of what you're going to be covering?
Yes, ma'am. Exactly. So in that creating a digital point of sale workshop, we will actually work through what each of those entities do and do not do. Okay. The one thing that I say to everyone, okay, and to all my clients is try to take as many forms of payment as you can. Okay, that you feel comfortable with, right? Nobody writes a check anymore. I mean, I write a check. Nobody really writes a check anymore, okay? And it's funny because even older people will be like, how old are you writing that check, right? But the piece of it is that, spaces like PayPal will insure your money to a certain extent. Cash App will only do it to a certain extent themselves, okay? But there are a lot of ways that you can set up your Cash App for business, and it can immediately drop money to a bank account so that you can not even have to worry about somebody pulling it back out, doing whatever it may be, okay? PayPal has some of those features that aren't as sexy as that, okay? Somebody can contest it on PayPal and get their money back, even without valuable, eligible, actual receipts on what has actually taken place, okay? So there's a lot of safety issues, right, as we work in this digital space. And I think we all have a proper understanding of that. But we will break down exactly what each one does and does not. And I will give you a cheat sheet on how to navigate those things. Because I think that if you know exactly which ways that you are vulnerable, then you have the ability to protect yourself at that very same time and very same space. And again, this knowledge is not just going to be for Halle-Bration. This is going to be doing business in the digital space for you ongoing. Okay. Halle-Bration is going to be a nice test run for you to see literally firsthand, but in real time, the experience of your consumer.
Okay. There's a question in the chat, Jordan.
All right, let's see. So the question is, what will the page look like from the customer's view when they enter? Okay, so let me do my best to explain this to you from what we know from Stephen. Okay, the page as the customers enter will be a multi-streamable kind of platform, right? We will have certain things that are happening in terms of the vendor space, workshops, as well as live performances, as well as integrating food. Okay, what will happen is there will be a multitude of ways consumers are coming to you. I don't want you to think that people are going to be coming through a single channel, okay? You will have the ability to kind of shape exactly what that single channel will be once they get to the point of conversion, meaning that they're ready to purchase, okay? That will then be what we're talking about is taking your business digitally. We will be talking about exactly taking everything to your Facebook store, Shopify, whatever kind of store you decide that you want to set up. You will have the ability to do that. Okay, so the page will look like how you kind of design it on your end in terms of product and sales. Now, in terms of your vending space, right, there will be a centralized page that will have everyone's available tab, okay, that is on. What we will also have then is the ability for these individuals to see the products on the vendor table that has already been previously shot. They will have the ability to look through that table multiple times. Okay, it's not just going to be a one roll through. Okay, and they have to catch something on the table. They will have the ability to navigate your table, from what I'm understanding. Okay, and Steven's system. Number one, if you've never seen Easily Blessed in their post footage, okay, you've probably seen Steven with his lights, his 5 to 15 cameras this man carries, right, and all his things. But the post product for the things that Steven Easily does with Easily Blessed is always beautiful. The man is so detail oriented. I'm not going to call him a perfectionist, right? Because he's a photographer. So we have to leave it up to the creative, right? But the man is truly so organized. It blows me away. But the one thing that I love about Steven Easily, and as we talked about him being a possibility for Halle-Bration and now a true partner, is that Steven Easily gets us. He gets the ability to sell products, and he understands branding and business, okay? And if you don't believe me, look at his stuff, okay? Easily Blessed is in good shape, okay? And all the things that they have worked on is truly phenomenal. You wouldn't even know it was them, okay? And I promise you, aesthetically, this is going to be awesome, all right? And I promise you, through these programs and these sessions with these workshops, you will be able to really hone in on exactly what it is that you would like to push out. Will there be a revolving animated ads running on the centralized page? Kathy, let me open up the mic to you because I know we have not reconvened on exactly the update on sponsorship and ads.
There will be ads running on the platform, as well as there will be a full color directory that will be available on the site, and it will be downloadable for anyone who wants to download the directory. So there'll be several different ways for people to get information and also advertise on the site. So there will be the directory that will be that people can enter and find information, and also there will be ads there. And then there will also be floating ads along with the other things that we'll have, like the sponsor workshops and the music and the children's activities. So hopefully that answered that question.
There's a ton of more ad space, sponsorship opportunity here, guys, not just in terms of like the space, but where it's being transmitted to.
Right.
You know, and the one thing that I loved about Halle-Bration, and I laughed with Kathy as we first started, is that the African American Chamber was in the exact same space. 99 to 100% of our programming happened in our physical space or in a physical space. So to take programs virtually was a big step for us. And honestly, we have not seen anything bad come from it. We've seen more visitors, more unique individuals coming. We've had people from across the country and individuals who would never come to the physical space come to the digital space. So I not only want you to be prepared for what you are used to with Halle-Bration, but I want you to be prepared for more. And
Yeah,
also, she said, I'm sorry, go ahead, Kathy.
No, I was just going to say, I think one of the other, you're right. I agree with you. And I'm excited about it now. Very excited. But I think the other question that I heard from people as I talked with them is in terms of, them understanding how this was going to show up. And as Stephen had mentioned, and as you just mentioned too, this will show up on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. If there will be a unique URL that people will go to for the site itself, and then people will be able to navigate, through buttons, clicking, and so forth. So that's the way that'll happen. But people also were asking about in terms of Facebook business pages, because there's been a lot of changes, on Facebook. And so that was one of the things that a lot of people did ask, is in terms of setting up a Facebook business page, in terms of you helping to guide them through that process. So is that something, Jordan, that you anticipate doing?
Yes, most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely.
Because that was a frequent question.
Yes, most definitely.
Okay.
Most definitely. So let's see, we have another question. The workshops begin November 16th. That is correct. How we have them set up right now is we're going to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday are going to be our open workshop days. Okay. And I'm going to try to stagger those between two separate kind of time frames. You will not have to register for those. Okay. I want you to come. Okay. I want you to stop by. All right. Come say hi to me. All right. Just stop by the virtual Zoom room. Say hi. I want to know how you're doing and where you're at with things. Okay. The one thing that I will say is that at each one of these programs, I will be going through a checklist of things that you should have in place. So at least come to one of the programs, or at least come see me at one of the open sessions. So that way you can at least make sure that you have the checklist completed. And as we build that out, it will grow. Okay. There will be things that we see from a certain vendor that we now need to inform all vendors on. So what I will do is make sure that that information is also sent to you via Kathy as well. Okay. But come see us. Come get your questions answered. Let's talk virtually. Okay. Even if you are on a cell phone, okay, we can still work, all right, on these social media platforms, all right, together. Okay. And I promise you that it works that way. All right. Even to the ability that I can log out of Facebook on my computer, give you access, and you can type in your credentials and information without me ever seeing them. Okay. And we can operate inside of your Facebook space from my system. Okay. All privacy protected, all very safe. Okay. And I promise you. And the beautiful thing about this is that we want to make sure that you're comfortable, but we want you to know how to do it. Okay. And I guess I should say this too, is that this is not just going to stop here. One of the reasons why we went with Easily Blessed was the fact that we will have someone on site that will be helping us if we do run into tech issues. Okay. We will have individuals on standby for that. So be okay with that. Let's see. The workshops are at no additional charge. They are not at an additional charge. And I'm going to tell you this, invite some people. Invite some people. We need to know about this in our community. There are a lot of vendors, there are a lot of individuals that have counted themselves out because they have not thought about the digital space. I'm not faulting them. I'm not blaming them. We were all there at some point. Okay. So share this with them. Let's open these doors to the community with this. How soon will the URL be available for the event advertising?
Yeah, the answer to that right now is I don't know for sure, but I believe after we get through the first next week, the taping next week, that we should have a URL at the end of that. So I will be checking with Stephen on that, but I think we have to get through the taping so that he can start to look at loading things up, and that's what we'll be doing next week. So I will get something back on that as soon as I can, but that's the answer for now.
Awesome, thank you. How soon does your website and POS information due? Great question. Okay, before we hang up today and here in just a few minutes before we have closing remarks, I'm going to give you a list of things that you can do right now. okay, right now to prepare yourself for these programs and workshops. Okay. I figured if I led with the fact that I was giving homework, you guys might have left. Okay? So I wanted to make sure that I hyped you up before I told you I had work for you to do. Okay. So does anybody have any other questions? And then we'll talk about that last question. How soon does your website and POS information due? Are there weekend tapings available? I work during the week. Oh, yes, ma'am. Most definitely. So everything that we're doing will be available. Okay. We will not be putting these videos though, okay, on the standard platform where we push our programs. Kathy, myself, and the Halle-Bration team will have access to these. And if you need a workshop that you have missed, reach out to myself or to Kathy. They will be available about an hour to 2 hours after we're done with the program, and we will shoot those over to you. We will shoot the link over to you. Humble, I see you have a question. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Jordan, before you leave that, I think
Sure.
the question might have also been dealing with the tapings of the vendors for the platform. I think, and in answer to that, we do not have any weekends scheduled. We have evenings up until 7 or 8 o'clock on the Wednesday, Thursday, and we are looking at adding Monday the 16th. Because there are some businesses that's just the best day for them to do it. So if that's your question about weekends, get in touch with me separately. I'll put my number in the chat if you don't already have it. If you're a Halle-Bration person, you should have it, but I will put it in there. But that's where we are right now. Okay. So just call me if you have some special need, and we'll see if we can work it out.
Okay, Moto said that was her question, Kathy.
Okay.
So thank you.
Got
I appreciate that. All right, Humble, we're ready for you. Thank you for raising your hand.
Okay. Well, first of all, how do I unraise it, or will it just go away?
I got you. Yeah, no, I'll lower your hand. You got to tell us who you are, though.
All right. I'm Priscilla White.
Hi, nice to meet you, Ms. White.
Okay. You mentioned 5 things: digital point of sale, build a landing page, open gym. What was the other 2?
So we're gonna have 2 open gym sessions. Okay. So we'll have 2 of those. Okay. Our first session will be taking your business digital, made easy. Okay, and that's a workshop.
Okay.
The second one will be creating a digital point of sale workshop.
Okay.
Okay, and our third one will be how to build your own landing page workshop.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And hearing that we may shoot on Monday, what I may do is open up maybe that Monday the 16th for just an open session. Okay, and if we need to double up on another open session, or we need to do some one-on-ones outside of the 2 schedule, we can make that happen as well.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Do we have any other questions before I give out homework? This is the time where I was like, okay, I got a couple more questions. Let's try to run it up before the bell rings, right? All right, awesome. So Kathy has dropped my information at the top of the chat. Okay, so scroll up to the top. You can grab my information there. Okay, if you need me, reach out to me via email. All right. Kathy has dropped her information as well, and I'm sure you have one of her emails. Okay, as well as the phone number is there. All right. Absolutely excited to meet each and every one of you in person at some point, right? But this digital experience is awesome. If you have your pen and pad ready, okay, I got some homework for you, okay? And I'm gonna run it down fast. If you are selling products of any kind, I don't care what it is, okay? And you can take a picture of it, all right? So as long as you're not telling, selling fortunes or, whatever it may be, as long as it's something tangible, I want you to start taking pictures of it, okay? I want you to find or buy at Kroger's like a white poster board, okay? Take your product, okay? And I'm just going to use my iPhone. That's not my product, okay? I wish it was, all right? We would all be rich in here, okay? Take this iPhone, okay? Take your product, like my iPhone, lay it on the paper, okay? Stand on top of it with your phone or a camera and take a picture of it. You're like, Jordan, why is this necessary? For a person to buy something off of your table, they're not going to be picking it up off of the table, okay? They need to see that that item individualized. Or if it's a collection of things, what I would suggest you do is to take a picture of them together and separately, okay? What I need you to do once you have these pictures in place. Now, if you know me, I give recipes, okay? I do not tell you that this is like a step-by-step process for greatness. I tell you that if you put these recipes together, okay, it may taste good at the end, all right? Gail Billings will tell you I can't cook though, okay? But for the recipe's sake, okay? I want you to take all those pictures, all right? I want you to organize them, all right? So that you know what they are, okay? Why do I say organize them and know what they are? I want you to write down a name for each of these items. Why? You don't want it to say item number 1 when they get to your shop. You want it to say that this is an iPhone 11 Pro, you know, and here's a slight description. I would encourage you to try to write 1 to 3 sentences about the product. Now, y'all are like, yo, this is a lot for Halle-Bration. This is going to set you up for digital retail success, okay? What we're talking about right here is called copy, okay? Copywriting in the marketing sense, okay? This copywriting is what you buy on, you know, my mom is, where's my mom shop all the time? Express, okay? Or Limited or whatever it may be, right? My mom is always on some digital shopping. The thing is, you click on something, it gives you the price, right? And the title, but then it tells you about it. Do that, all right? In some of these digital spaces that we're creating, you may bring your digital space live after one of these workshops, not at Halle-Bration, okay? I want you to know that this is not just about Halle-Bration, okay? Kathy Lewis Norman has just blessed us, truly, okay? This is not just about Halle-Bration. This is about you. So with that, you will be able to take that description about your product and go forward, all right? And this is not a marketing program, okay? But what I will tell you is that that will help in terms of promoted ads as well as searchability on these spaces for your product. So I tell you that be prepared that if you do this and bring things live, okay, people may start shopping with you before Halle-Bration, okay? So you want to take the pictures. You want to give it a name. You want to talk about it. Give it a price point, okay, which is sometimes either the super hard thing to do or the super easy thing to do. So after you've done all of these things, give yourself a price point. I tell you to put that in as the 4th piece of the recipe because I want you to hype yourself up, okay? I want you to know that the picture looked good, the title looked good. I done made this description super sexy. Now I'm charging $5 million. Okay, I want you to be hyped up about, and I want you to be confident about what you're charging. Okay, I don't know if we got any millionaires that have $5 million liquid to just drop on you at Halle-Bration. Okay, so we want to keep in mind that we want these prices, right, to make sense. Okay, so make sure that if it's something that you would necessarily charge $5 for, that it's in a similar ballpark. Okay, because people are expecting, if not that price, something less, and that's just from a digital marketing retail aspect. Okay, that is just a typical trend. Okay, cheap is best online, and I think we all know that because I Google search Amazon and eBay, and I compare so many different things, right, so fast. So what you want to do is make sure that your price point is comfortable and confident for you. Okay, why? The consumer is going to talk to you about it. So the beautiful thing about it is that what I want you to also do, okay, next step of the homework. So now we talked about products, okay, you got price, description, image, and title, okay. That's going to be great as we move into the workshopping phase, okay. Now on the other side, I want you to start thinking about your customer service. Somebody's going to show up and they're going to say, hey, what are you going to say back? Hey, no, that's not going to be, they're not looking at you. They're not catching these nonverbals, right? They're talking to you probably through a text medium, okay? Depending on how your website, your point of sale is set up, and we will dig deeper into that in terms of the workshop. For our conversation now, I want you to think about it in terms of like a Facebook chat. So Jordan comes into your store and says, hey, what's up? I'm interested in product X, Y, and Z. What are you going to say back to me? Now, if this was a standard chamber program, what I would do is I'd have my cheat sheet out and I would copy and paste to you. Hey, my name is Jordan Ivory, program director here at the Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky African American Chamber. And oh my God, Humble, I'm so glad that you're here with us. You'd be like, oh my God, Jordan's actually talking to me. I'm talking to everybody in that same brand voice, guys. Okay. I might have just told my secret, right? But each individual person then feels recognized. They feel comfortable. And I'm going to tell you, in this space where we only had a couple of questions, I can tell you that if I would have started out by introducing everyone, having you introduce yourself, we have the slight conversation in between the chat, you would be more amped to ask questions. And that's how it goes, okay? And I can tell you from 89 virtual programs that this stuff works, okay? But the thing is that you want to make sure that you have a cheat sheet, okay? So have a greeting already written out with a space where you will type in a name, okay? Don't be afraid of that, okay? I want you to know that if somebody's asking about a product, all right, have that same verbiage that you have in the description ready to be copied and pasted into the chat, and then be ready to add a little bit more to it, okay? Maybe more towards what they're asking, okay? So here's a product description for you. The one thing that I love about this candle is that it makes my whole house smell like cinnamon. Or when it's a slow melting candle, it does this, this, and this. So enhance that kind of thing, okay? Think about those things, all right? What I'm giving you here is a customer service toolbox, okay? So when somebody comes, they don't have to wait for you to type. They're asking the question, they're getting their answer. Now they should be opening up the pocketbook. You know what I mean? They should be ready to hit the conversion point. All right, or they won't. And we all know as vendors that people come to the table and ask a million questions and walk away and buy the $6 candle right next to you, okay? So we all know that. So be prepared for that too, okay? The one thing that I will say about all this is that you will be able to better track analytics on what's working with your business and what's not by putting it into this digital hotbox, okay? And why I call it a hotbox is because you have a literal channel of individuals coming like you would at physical Halle-Bration, okay, coming to virtual Halle-Bration. And you get a lot of different consumers in vending spaces, okay? It's truly where people sample size a lot of different things. Okay, so we have our products. Now we have a piece of our customer service toolkit. I want you to not only write down a greeting, I want you to write down a goodbye. Okay, a nice peace out message. Okay, and why I call it a peace out message is because peace out is my brand voice. Okay, hey, what's going on? How are you? How you feeling today? Right? Not super professional, but not out of line. Right? Hey, I hope you have a great day. Peace out. It's funny. It's on brand. Right? That's my brand voice. Okay. So with that, I want you to think about your brand voice. Okay, I want you to think about how you could say goodbye to someone. All right. And still keep them encouraged to come back and spend more or to spend, okay? The one thing I want you to keep in mind is that in this digital space, a lot of people are going to have a multitude of different places that they can go without having to walk. Now, being a director of operations for a number of vendors, I've seen a ton of people just buy something at my table to sit down at the seat right next to me, though, okay? They do not have to walk around Halle-Bration. They just have to click around. You don't want to be sour about somebody not making the sale on that first click, okay? So you want to leave them with a positive message on when they can come back. Halle-Bration is a 2-day experience, even in the virtual sense. We know how people are with their money. They may not spend everything first day, okay? So be prepared for that customer to continue coming. Once you've given this customer this vending experience in this digital space, they're going to anticipate and expect it from you, regardless of Halle-Bration or not. Okay, and that's the one thing that Kathy and I have consistently talked about Halle-Bration going virtual, is that once we go virtual, there's no going back. Now, I'm not saying there won't be physical Halle-Bration, there will be, but it will be physical and it will be virtual. Okay, because we're going to see new people. We're going to increase the numbers and demographics outrageously by being in this new platform. And I want you to be just as prepared as we are. Okay, so that's your customer service toolbox. A hello, a goodbye, a conversation about the product. Okay, and if you can think of anything else that you want to quick type to a customer, just write it out. And then have that Google document, your Word document, whatever it may be, in a space where you can literally highlight it, copy it, and paste it in, okay? Now you guys are like, Jordan, I don't even know how to do copy and paste. I'm going to teach you that too. Okay. These are truly going to be workshops teaching you exactly the methods that I utilize to navigate virtual programming, but also how I work with brands to build and build out in the digital space. And just for background, I mean, I've worked with Johnny Spot Concierge, Morgan A. Owens brand, African American Chamber, of course, Black Family Reunion, I Hear Music Conference. So we do a lot of these large scale events and digital monitoring and curating. Now it's just hot because there's no physical space to go along with it. So I'd be remiss to say it hasn't worked better for my business, right? And I think a lot of us can see that. And I want you to have that aspect coming out of this, is that yes, being digital is different, but it has offered better opportunities for the digital growth of my business, okay? The one thing that you'll know about me is that I will make sure that you walk away with vocab, okay, and PR, okay, comments to be able to talk about the purposes and reasons why you should be a part of this and going forward with the digital aspect of your business. This community building only helps everyone, not just one of us, not just a few of us, not just those that are participating, but all of us. The one thing that is true about digital marketing and digital retail is that it is all about community. So you all being here and being a part of this is already starting the momentum of what we need to get people through the virtual doors of Halle-Bration. And now more than ever, we will be able to cross promote with ease and reach many more people than have ever been touched with Halle-Bration before. That was my homework, okay? If you can do those things, okay, we can do more, okay? That will make your workshop experience a lot easier and simpler when it comes time to be in the room and work it out, okay? You will spend your time actually plugging stuff in and giving me technical questions like, Jordan, it's not letting me save here, or I need this to look like this. And I can help you out with more of an aesthetic piece versus a brand building piece, okay? So I want you to keep that in mind. Homework, I think, is completed. There was one last thing that I wanted you to do. Oh, if you have any sort of customer testimonial, now I'm not saying you have to have it today, go get it. People want to know what people say about your business. And on Facebook, there's the ability to actually showcase that, okay? So I want you to make sure, okay, that if you have individuals talking positively about your business, that we get those things out there. The other piece of it too is that in taking your business digital, we will be talking about the different outlets where you can actually place your business to compete with kind of some of those Google searches, Facebook searches, to give people more ample information about your business. And really a lot of this stuff is copy and pasteable. Okay, meaning that you write it once and then we're going to put it on 16 different things. Okay, some of it we may shorten, some of it may be more elongated, but listen, it will be very simple. The easy part about this, guy, the hardest part about this is actually just writing the stuff out. The easiest part about this is really putting it in. Okay, so I'm here to tell you that these programs are going to be awesome. These workshops are going to be dope, but outside of that, the hard work is on you. Okay. The beauty of it is that I'm going to be that Elmer's glue stick. Okay. We're going to take your stuff. We're going to take Halle-Bration. We're going to rub the glue on it. We're going to piece it together. Okay. And the beautiful part about it is that you will truly be equipped to do business digitally, whether you're ready for it or not. Okay. You will be ready for it by the time you get done with Halle-Bration. Okay. And you will already see how it works, and you may have more questions. And I want you to come back to me with that. And I told Kathy I was excited for that too, because we always need better program ideas here at the African American Chamber. I have no more closing remarks other than thank you guys for being here. I want to turn the floor over to Kathy before I fully wrap.
Thank you so much, Jordan. And thanks for everybody who's on this call. He gave you a whole lot of good information. So get busy, do the homework. You're going to need it. Just a reminder, I put it in the chat, but vendor sign up the deadline is tomorrow. So if you haven't signed up officially yet, you need to do that. And the church office will be open from 9 to 3 for those who want to go by there. Otherwise, give me a call to make other arrangements, but we need to get the vendor signups because we are scheduling for the production tapings next week. So, so we need to get that firmed up. So thank you all definitely for everything. And Jordan, thank you. It's going to be exciting. I'm going to participate in as much of the training myself, and because it's going to be good stuff. So
It's going to be great. It is.
So if there are any other questions for me, just, feel free to ask now. Otherwise, I'll turn it back over to Jordan and we'll close out.
All right. Do we have any questions for Kathy before we move forward? All right. Okay. Listen, if you have questions, Humble. I see Humble went off. Okay. If you guys have any questions, okay, please feel free to reach out to us. Okay. Feel free to call Kathy. Feel free to email me. Okay. And if you need Kathy and you get me, okay, I will send you to where you got to be. Okay. I promise you, I've been rhyming a lot today. Okay. But it's these evening programs. I got all my energy still, right?
Yeah.
So listen, I want you guys to know that we have a lot of things happening at the African American Chamber. So please be sure to check out our calendar. All right. Please check out the calendar tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Okay. We will have programs live. Check out the other programs that we have going on. I've got a couple things already in process that are dropping on the calendar, like a business banking event with First Financial. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a little insight, all right, and say that you heard it here first, all right? I'm trying to get them to allow us to open business banking accounts without any sort of minimum. Reason why I say that is because if you don't have a business banking account, typically they ask you to keep a minimum. The lowest I've typically seen is like $250 to $500. And if you don't, there's a penalty. All right. Black businesses, especially small businesses like ourselves, don't always have the ability to maintain a $500, $250 balance, right? Sometimes you got to pull from that. And so with business banking, you are able to do a lot of different things, especially in terms of business credit, grant funding, and different sorts of things. So business banking is one of those ways that I feel like we've been left out, and I want to make sure that we get included. All right. So that's something that I'm working on. I'm trying to make sure that happens before December. So that way we can get it in here for our Halle-Bration vendors. You guys can jump in there and take advantage of that, because that will be a great, great asset and resource heading into 2021. You do not have a business credit score if you do not have a business bank account. Okay. Very, very serious as you're looking to expand. Okay. So I want you to keep that in mind. Listen, again, my name is Jordan Ivory, Program Director here at the African American Chamber. You guys just tuned into the Halle-Bration meetup with the question and answer forum with myself and Kathy Lewis Norman. Listen, I'm so thankful to be a part of this Halle-Bration team. When I tell you that we didn't know how we were going to do it, and to be here in front of you telling you exactly how we're going to do it has been monumental. But truly, the fun has just begun. It truly has. We're super excited for these programs, for these workshops, for the ability to meet you all, okay, and help you in your business. And the one thing that we truly, truly, truly have been focused on is the ability to grow the community outside of Halle-Bration and the ability to grow this beyond 2 days. So I want to thank you for taking the time to come and join us. Each one teach one, right? So please, please, please spread the word. Recognize that deadline is tomorrow. If you need us, reach out. Okay. If you have ideas or something comes up in the middle of the night, feel free to email me. I'll get back to you ASAP. Okay. Again, if you need anything, reach out. I'm Jordan Ivory.
All right.
I look forward to seeing you guys the week of the 16th. Come and check out some programs that we got going on next week, guys. Okay. Yeah. Great things are happening here at the African American Chamber. We'll see you guys soon.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.